Hey, we're live!
We're live! Hey.
Yeah,
Although
that's
it's just two
exciting.
of us for right now.
Although Chris looks like he's ready to join, so soon there'll
It's
be three of us.
it's true. Let's see if I can
Make him appear.
angle. Cause I'm magical like that.
He is.
Jared has been having storm issues.
Yeah. So hopefully he shows up and actually one has power to his house and two doesn't have a tree on top of it, which would be bad. But he's in a basement, so probably is okay on that whole thing.
Was that a clandestine, secretive basement quality plug, sir?
No, it was not. I'm just saying where Jared resides within his domicile for doing the show. So that's all that was.
Domicile? Is somebody studying for their SATs?
No, I just wanted to be fancy. Is that bad?
Not necessarily.
And yet,
Oh joy, Chris isn't seeing the invite. Can you do it?
negative. Just gotta keep trying. Ooh, it was a dark and stormy night for Jared, says Deco. I agree. It is a dark and stormy night for him. And as you can see, we have a Jonathan forehead.
Hey, you. I have my desk, man. I'll scoot up.
I'm fine. It's all good. I apologize for any sounds coming out of my mouth. I've got some halls because Randy does not feel super great, but the show must go on, so I'm
It's
here.
true. The show must go on, apparently, with only two people.
That's okay. We're here to have fun anyhow,
It's
and
true. And there's
people will come.
plenty of things to talk about between the two of us alone. But
It's
it would really
true.
help a show that way. We need more of our motley crew.
Yeah.
At least thanks to me being in charge of the hangout, we totally started on time. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about our crew here, so the show may not start until we have some more peoples. But hey, I'll make a big enough ruckus for everybody, 'cause I'm Cloud Strife.
Oh no. No. None of that. No.
Randy, if it's just me, does that mean you alone get to deal with the brunt of my Shovel Knight jokes and Final Fantasy VII jokes?
I don't think I could take it. It's also up to our audience to deal with it. So
Our audience loves me. I don't know if you know.
they heart you. They less than three you.
How, what, where?
I don't know, Chris. You don't. I don't know, man. I had to check the Google Plus. I had to check Hangouts when, like, my phone went crazy. So
Oh, vey. Jared Sajowski is here.
Jared made it.
Jared made it.
He did?
He
He
did.
did.
Hi, Jared.
Hi.
It's Jared.
Ta-da! He's here. He made it.
Randy's ID graphic, Deco Brill, has always been out of position because his camera is stuck on 16 by 9, if I'm
No.
not mistaken.
4x3.
4 by 3. When
For
it,
reasons unknown, my camera decided to go all 4x3 on me instead of 16:9. There is nothing in any sort of settings I can find to change that. And because of that, my graphic thingy looks awful, and you can't read it, and it's out of position. So
It's
let's
worth,
start a let's start
worth
a
an NES.
let's start a Kickstarter. Give Randy $30 so he can get a camera. uh, it's awful.
I'll
So,
give you $30, and that way you won't have to worry about physical rewards and risks and
What?
challenges and all the other
right.
things associated with a Kickstarter.
Stretch goals. We all get new cameras, and then we all get mic with really awesome, pop filters and things, and we'll make this thing awesome as hell. If we raise a few $1,000,000, we'll get our own studio somewhere, and we'll record all in person. Wouldn't that be great?
Dude,
Yes.
I've met Jared in person many a time. I've met Chris in person once, but I have not met you in person. That
I'm.
needs to change.
How do you even know that I'm real?
I'm
I don't.
fairly certain you're real. I mean,
What if he's just like he's just like Hatsune Miku? Like, was this like a digital,
wow.
like bro, a digi bro?
I'm
A
actually
Digibro.
I'm actually a product of Sega. Came
Who
out.
is?
Who isn't? Oh, video call from Chris.
Decline that.
Okay.
We're in the middle of a broadcast. I don't know what my computer would be able to take. Alright. Lovely, lovely, lovely. What is a live broadcasted show without technical difficulties for every single episode?
It's true. You
Why?
guys need to be in 4K, says Jason. Yes, yes, we do. We'll get a 4K camera that'll also be part of the stretch goals. And I'm sorry, Jared, I interrupted you.
Oh no, I was gonna say yeah. If we just broadcast in 4K on our 4K awesomeness cameras, and then what we would do is we would get like an ultra high def TV from Samsung, but
Mhm.
we'll record it to the TV and then take a video of the TV so everyone can watch it that way.
Yeah, there you go.
It would be totally like a TV with a TV
Oh
Inception.
my gosh, TV section.
Is Randy real or is he Memorex?
Well,
I love our audience, just for the record.
he's not the only one. Everyone is secretly a Vocaloid. That is the best thing ever. There's a really awesome guy who's been doing 8-bit remixes of various things on YouTube, of course, because that's what everybody does. But this one guy did an 8-bit remix of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers intro, but he also used Vocaloid software to redo the vocals. And it's funny because, of course, Vocaloid software uses the phonetic, like the Japanese alphabet and all of how their syllables and phonetics go. But he made it do English, and it's funny because like some words come out really weird because they have to be constructed phonetically in Japanese to do it, and it's awkward, but it's also really amazing. So Google that. Google Power Rangers 8-bit remix, and you'll probably find it. It's a really good one. But would 4K be backwards compatible? Oh my god! You win the internet, man.
Which, by the way, hello, lovely audience. We really are glad to see you this late at night on a Wednesday.
It's true.
It's like I said over Twitter, my friends make a good nightcap.
Yeah. I want to be the one to come out and say it because our good friend Charlotte had messaged me after the show. She's like, "Did you introduce the show as backwards compatibility?" Yes, I did. Because I'm an idiot. So I'm going to do my best to not say that this time. It's backwards compatible. Stop there.
Backwards compatibility is like... That's also a noun. Backwards compatible noun, backwards compatibility.
I don't really speak English. I'm Vocaloid, so I don't even really know.
We need a grammarian on this podcast. Where is Chris? I've sent like more invites than there are Pokemon, and dude just isn't taking the bait.
He's got no baits. Not taking the bait. Let's try this. I'm going to try calling him personally on Hangouts from my phone.
In the meanwhile, how is everybody doing? Jared, did you get a chance to watch all the anime, or was your power still out?
My power was out until like almost 8 o'clock Eastern, so
Ooh.
that was about 3 or 4 hours. So no, I wasn't able to get through everything. It kind of threw a wrench in my day, but it's okay. I had a backup
Handheld gaming was
strategy.
invented for a reason.
Well, yeah, before I even got to that, I was just like doing stuff on my phone. I had a backup strategy that I could have done this tonight on my phone if I had to. So, but that didn't happen. So yeah, we got power. It was a pretty bad storm, like in this area. I guess we were hit the hardest, so it is what it is. But yeah, power came back 2 hours ago. I got in a new episode of Free. So
Yay.
We got that. I got that
We can
in.
at least
but-
talk about that during the show.
Yeah, and I got in a few episodes of other stuff today, but not as much as I had planned. That's okay.
Which, by the way, listener Deco Brill says compatible is an adjective, so I've learned something today.
Mm.
Alright. So, Jared, you want to talk about Shovel Knight for 2 hours before the show even starts?
No,
Oh.
I'm trying to figure. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm trying to get the link for the episode, which I have right here. I'm gonna share it to the world. That's what my goal is right now.
You're sharing what to the world?
The link to this very live show.
Oh.
I'm
Well,
gonna
I
share
mean,
that to the
you
world.
can't get more live than the three of us sitting around more or less stalling for time. Our poor
Really?
audience.
Yeah. Sorry about that. And I did get a hold of Chris on Hangouts on the phone. And we both come out with little to no audio. The only audio is super slowed down robot sounding. So he's going to try restarting his tablet, and hopefully that fixes things.
Nice.
Well, in the meanwhile, so we don't keep these poor people waiting, should we go ahead and start the show and then have Chris jump in?
Let's do it. Let's get this show on the road.
Alright. Let me queue up one more thing before we begin here.
Do it, bro.
Oh, happy day.
Just one quick question before we start it proper, Jonathan. Did you by chance click your own video this time again, so that way it's just your face for the first
I
30
actually
minutes?
didn't, so...
Okay. Good deal.
Long time listeners of the Downpour
Oh, man.
podcast know that I'm obsessed with myself, so I just go ahead and click that box in. And when I'm in charge of the Google Hangout, it's my face for the first 30 minutes of the show. I'm sure you guys really wanted to see that.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? That's why people come in to the show. That's why we went up 2 more followers between yesterday and today. We're at 51.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is it?
Hashtag public stats.
Oh, man, if I could only remember the lyrics to that song.
So if you want to try shooting Chris another invite because his video stuff is now working.
Alright, then let's try one last time before we abandon all hope.
Ye who enter here.
Invite. And so it goes. Hey, my video feed's back. Oh well, looks like this won't get easy.
Google be having problems.
Google's always having problems.
And that's a shame.
Life is not without problems. You have to take the problems that life gives you and turn them into something
Meaningful.
Jared finishes my sentences now.
There you go.
That's weird.
Oh, bother.
We could. We always talk about making this into a musical. We could just do that for the next 5 minutes. Let it go.
The
Let
whole
it go.
world
Oh.
needs to hear me sing Fly Me to the Moon. But I'm not drunk enough for that yet.
You gotta accentuate the words. Go F-fly to the moon.
It would be in my Sinatra style voice.
Wow, what's that?
Yeah, let's hear it.
You. Oh,
Just
bother.
for a word.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have the inflection. Can certainly.
I think you have the inflection, the reflection, and the digestion. And all the other
Fly me
bastions.
to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. That's all you get. One
That was
bar.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
Nice.
in the audience, give
Woo!
John.
Woo! Much rejoicing. Yay!
Yay! But not enough rejoicing to get Chris into the show.
Chris. Oh well.
Oh.
Let's start the show, Randy, if you would.
Okay, sure thing. We're going to try this and do it. Greetings and welcome to episode 2 of Backwards Compatible. And I said it right this time, unlike the first time around. We're a snazzy group of 4 peeps. Well, 1, 2, 3 right now. With a passion for nerdy things like video games, comics, anime, the whole works. Last week we did sitcoms, so let's do potato chip flavor this time. My name is Randy Thompson. I'm the sour cream and onion of this podcast. Tasty and refreshing, but you can smell me in your mouth for hours? I don't know.
Wow.
I'm Jonathan Higgins, the chicken and waffles of this podcast. New, cutting edge, and potentially worth $1 million.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. My name is Jared. I'm the Cool Ranch Doritos because I'm a cool guy who's different from the norm.
Ooh, I like that.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, and we're
And of
all very
course,
happy.
If
have you-
Chris were here,
Ooh.
he would be the crunchy Cheetos, the stain that never comes off.
I love it. Oh, I also love to be happy that we have all of you here to watch, which is super great. Whether you're watching live or if you're tuning in later, thank you for joining us. And speaking of those that aren't here live and in the moment, we happen to be getting our show on at 9:15 p.m. Central. And apparently no one cares about Central Time, is what the outline says, whoever did
That wasn't me.
Yeah.
and that
I
was
didn't write that either.
okay. Well, then I can blame Chris, the guy who's not here. And this
Nice.
is July 2nd, 2014. So last week we ended the show with an audience question of the week with, if you could have one superpower, and let's say it can't be flight or invisibility, what would it be? So we have some answers from people. We have Andrew Rudder, who said teleportation for convenience, otherwise magic. If magic is too broad, shape-shifting, as I would mostly use the magic to shape-shift for bitchin' cosplay. Someone want to take Jason's here?
Jason
Sure.
says... What does Jason say? I just want to be Q from Star Trek The Next Generation. There
That's
are
a good
people
one.
in this audience who would understand that, and there's at least one of our panel who would understand that, but I don't.
I get it. It's on Netflix, John. Go watch it.
Yeah, John, go watch it.
Jared, why don't you tell us what Raymond Dwyer had to say?
All right, so Mr. Dwyer says, oh, what? He chose a good one. He
Yeah.
said time travel because Chrono Trigger. Enough said. Don't have to
Yeah.
say anything more about that.
Mm-mm.
It's badass.
So then I guess we give our answers. I didn't have one thought out, so I'm just going to make up one on the spot. I would say, did you guys ever see Read or Die? Because I will take paper manipulation, because that's cool and creative, and I like that.
Paper
So-
manipulation? What would you do with paper manipulation?
Well, if you
Well,
watch
you-
Read or Die,
You just go watch the OVA
yeah,
and some other stuff right now.
super great. She,
More for me to watch or play.
well, your good news is Read or Die OVA is only 3 episodes. But she manipulates paper into basically anything. Like, she can make a shield, she makes a giant paper airplane that people can fly in. She borrows some cash from a friend and then just makes it as hard as steel and into a sword, and she can fight with it. So basically, as long as it's paper, you can do anything you want. So that's a thing, and I dig it. Jonathan, what did you put down?
I said that telepathy would be handy. I'd really like to selectively broadcast my thoughts to people in those various situations where words out loud just don't do the trick. You
Mhm.
just need to start telling people what you're thinking so they get it and you don't have to like ruin the moment. I'm thinking mostly of like the awkward family dinners where you're thinking to one particular person, get me the hell out of here. But I think that would also come with like being able to read others' thoughts, and that I'd have to worry about like being invasive, but I think I could manage, maybe. But let's be real. You said to exclude flight and invisibility, but you know I'd pick flight because I suck at driving and I have the directional sense of a tomato.
I just kept those out because they're the most popular and least creative answers, so I wanted to make it fun. Jared, what'd you have?
I got really creative with mine. You just wait a second. So I said time travel maybe, or the ability to block John from reading my mind.
Wow.
because if we're in a room together, things are gonna get crazy.
Mhm.
I'm like undressing him with my eyes, and it just gets weird.
Or he's telling me how he really thinks about me this whole time.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
J.K. Rowling. But if I can't choose flight, then I'd choose telekinesis. Why? So that I could propel my body into the air, almost like flying. That's about it.
Oh, I love it.
Oh.
Let's. Oh, go ahead.
Do you know what I was actually gonna? I was thinking about
Oh
this
snap!
earlier.
My
Forgot.
power's about to go out.
Power outages galore.
Oh lord!
What I set up a joke in my mind earlier, but I forgot to go with it. I was gonna say that I was gonna say telekinesis so that I could live the lives of the children in Shinsekai Yori. That's about it.
Wow.
All right. What would Chris have done?
Do we want to read Chris's, or we just want to wait for him to give his answer? Because I feel like it'd be better if he could explain more than us just reading his words
We'll wait
here.
then.
Okay, we'll give that a try later. So we'll wait for Chris to come here eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed, and we'll move on to our news bits. So this one's pretty funny. Evangelion 3.33 you cannot redo is delayed until at least February 2015 in the UK, but we still also don't have any word on when we're getting it here in North America. But what's great is that apparently Manga UK gives no fucks about what they do on Twitter. So they posted to Twitter hashtag new Evangelion 3 title, Evangelion 3.33.
Did you guys hear that?
No, did not.
I feel like this apartment is about to be set ablaze by a lightning bolt. I'm not
Ooh.
even joking. I think Jared's storms from earlier are now in my neck of the woods.
No, it's more like they started where you are and they move up the coast to me. Anyways, what was the title that they gave it, Randy?
Okay, so the title that they gave it was Evangelion 3.33. You cannot have a UK power release until February. Now, that's not just great by itself, but we also had other people that, of course, followed them that joined in the fun. Evangelion 3.33. You cannot import. Other ones like Evangelion 3.33. Funimation is not a company to work with. Evangelion 3.33, you cannot be trusted to localize this without strict oversight from people with no idea about your culture.
Wow.
Manga Entertainment did send back to that one guy that said Funimation is not a company to work that says, hey, that's not very nice. It's absolutely got nothing to do with Funimation. But then there are some other good ones. Evangelion 3.33, you cannot help but think Half-Life 3 may be released before it. You cannot get a straight answer out of any official party.
Nope.
Manga Entertainment gave another one. Scotland will have gone native and renamed itself Celtland by the time Eva 3.33 comes out. Oh, and then some people were just being straight up, truthful about some things like Evangelion 3.33. No wonder people watch online for free. And Manga Entertainment
Hey,
hits
it
back.
rhymes, man.
Yeah, Manga Entertainment hits back with, oh snap, try telling Japan that. So apparently Manga UK is also pretty ticked about them not having it and making money themselves because it's just been held back. I mean, we had the extended theatrical debut because it's doing so well, but I think it's pretty obvious that Studio Kara or whatever, Gynex and all that other fun stuff is like, we don't want you having a home release yet because we're afraid of reverse importation. So just hold off for a bit. And this is kind of what happened. So, yay. Jared, are you still excited to watch 3.33 again?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah?
Like, I guess so. Yes. I feel like what's gonna happen is we'll get 3.33, and then like suddenly 4.44 will be out, and I'll just be
Like a week later.
yeah, and I'll just be like, wow, that's insane. That was great, cool, like great promo advertising, guys. I understand what you're doing here. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, reverse importation is something to worry about, but they've had it for a while.
It's true.
Like, it's been a while. I mean,
It's been over a year since it came out there.
and the way
for
that
home
like
release.
sales, I mean, I cannot say if I'm an expert on this or not, but from what I've been learning about like DVD and Blu-ray sales in Japan is like that's a long time for that stuff to be there. Let me say this though, like, okay, the way that a lot of those, when I went to a few stores called Anime in Japan, they have Evangelion sections, and it's definitely like centered around the new movie franchise, which is cool. But like, it's a smaller section. It's not as like relevant as the newer series that start up, the big hits every single season. So it's been, I think, long enough just from like what I could see, and not like people weren't like lining up to like buy that. That happens in like the first week to a month to 2 months, like not I don't know, not 12 months. So yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
logic.
Yeah. So that's what we deal with, I guess. And yeah, so eventually we'll get it. But whatever. Moving on to funner and more exciting things. Hashtag 6 seasons in a movie is happening. Not sure who else out there is super big fans of Community, but Community is coming back for a 6th season via Yahoo Screen. In other news, Yahoo has a service called Yahoo Screen, where they have TV shows. Because apparently a lot of people have never heard of it. I've never heard of it, but apparently it's kind of their answer to Hulu and Netflix and all that other fun stuff. So they have their own streaming thing, and they've got Community, so that'll be fun. Have you guys ever watched that show?
I have not watched a single episode of Community, but it's something I need to do. It's on my TV bucket list.
There you go. Jared, what about yous?
No, but I've heard, I don't know, Twitter, I guess, talk about Community a lot. A lot of, I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of buzz around that show. So people talk about it. I just don't know anything about it, so no, I've not seen it.
Well, it's a pretty interesting take on, I guess, sitcoms in that it's about a group of people that start a study group in community college as they kind of go through and get their degrees for their things that they want to do. And the main character, Jeff, was he was a lawyer, but then they found out that he had kind of lied and he didn't actually have a degree from a good college or anything. So he was basically fired until he can get a new degree that proves that he is qualified for his job. So he goes to a super cheap community college nearby in order to score it as fast as he can. Meanwhile, he joins a lovely bunch of misfits who also are there to go to school. So it's a lot of craziness. They certainly are not scared to try new and crazy things, and it's all the time hilarious. So, and it's struggled the entire time it's been on TV. Seasons 1 and 2 were the only like full-length 20-some episode seasons. All the other ones have been like mid-season premieres or long hiatuses in the middle because NBC didn't give a crap about the show. But so they'll be back for 13 episodes this fall. So I'm super psyched for that because they announced that on Monday, and Monday was the last day for their contracts to be renewed to come back to the show. Otherwise, the actors could all look for other jobs. So, last minute save. Woo.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I know that all you guys who watch Community and shows like that get canceled and picked back up are super happy when things like that happen. So even though I'm not a Community fan, I'm certainly happy for you.
Yeah, but you are a big Nintendo fan, John. Why don't you tell us about your news?
Oh my goodness, you guys. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Can you sing that?
Year?
It's the most wonderful time of the year. That's all I know. I'm not good with Christmas carols as often as I do hear them at work. You'd have to talk to me closer to December.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have made me sing far too many bars. I don't know about this anymore. I think you're just using me.
Well, what is the most wonderful time of the year, John?
The Club Nintendo year is over. Everybody's coin balances have been reset to 0 and whatever, and it's time to get to platinum in one day. And I have gotten from 0 to 700 coins required for platinum in Club Nintendo terms. Platinum and gold, by the way, folks who are not familiar, are the reward tiers. And if you get 700 coins in one Club Nintendo year, you get this awesome, super spectacular platinum reward. Like, what was it 2 years ago? The Super Mario pin set. And last year, of course, was the Majora's Mask official soundtrack.
That's
So
right.
if Chris were here, the other Club Nintendo
He
junkie.
is.
He is.
Hold on, I'm trying to.
Wait, whoa!
Yeah.
Hold on, give me
I
one
closed the
second.
hangout for one damn second and this happens? Hi!
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
1,
This is exciting.
2.
It is.
God.
We have a late arrival.
We didn't get too far. That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, he looks super spiffy. He looks spiffier than usual. I think Chris is super high quality.
Super
well,
high.
it was my phone.
Oh,
Ah.
dude, we've got 2 Chris's in the call. I'm not kicking one out.
No, don't do that. I
No.
learned from experience.
Here we
Don't
go.
do.
All right.
Can you guys hear me okay?
I can.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Cool.
I had to.
Whoa.
Okay, I did a bit of voodoo. I did a
Whoa.
bit of magic.
Smart.
I
This is
had to
intelligent.
go into the Google Plus app on my phone, and then I clicked to join Hangouts. It popped up in the app on my phone for Google Plus, not even for Hangouts, for Google Plus, and then it was giving me all this like, click here to do these things, and I said not now, and it's like, and then it popped up, and I'm like, wow, okay.
That face that you just made is frozen there for
I'm gonna get a screen cap of that, and it will be the thumbnail for this video.
yes. Much like
Awesome.
that time when I lifted up my shirt to show people my tattoos. Never forget.
Well, you didn't just lift
Never
up your
forget.
shirt. You turned around too.
Mhm.
Anyways.
So we were talking
Super
about
sweet, huh?
Club Nintendo being New
It's
Year
true.
sort of thing.
Hey, Chris, you're excited about Club Nintendo, aren't you?
I am excited about Club Nintendo. I'm glad that you didn't move on from that, actually, because
Yeah?
I have a funny thing to add to that, I guess.
Go for
Oh,
it.
did we already do superpowers?
We did, but we'll come back to
We can
you.
roll back to your
Ah,
superpower
okay.
after we
Okay.
get after we get done with the Club Nintendo.
All right, cool. Yeah, John. It popped up, and it looks. I will admit it looks a little fake, but I did see an image that had a sort of platinum reward selection screen like they did have last year when there was multiple things you could choose from, and it had a game shown called Hotel Mario, and I did a little bit of research on it, and apparently Hotel Mario is actually the name of a previously released side game, Mario side game that was developed for the Philips CDI by Philips. And
Wow.
so that it's strange that if someone were to use this as a hoax, that they would dig up that obscure of a Mario title to sort of hint at. And then I thought about it, and it's not rare for Club Nintendo to do games as their platinum rewards, because for Japan in 2012 they actually had a game called Nintendoji, which was a turn-based game. And last year, for Club Nintendo Platinum Rewards, Japanese Club Nintendo users could actually get Advance Wars Days of Ruin for their Platinum Reward, along with a little calendar thing. So there's a smidge of credibility. The image looks fake, but there's a smidge of credibility in the fact that it wouldn't be so far-fetched.
Hotel Mario. What I want to say I've heard of that at some point when I was doing my old bootleg researches back in the day. Because God, I was obsessed with that mess.
Well, it would have looked apparently a lot like a bootleg because people hated it. So,
Works
So,
for
yeah,
me.
Nintendo
All the
is-
things people hate.
there you go. If it is real, if the rumor is real, and this is to Mario sort of a reboot, exclusive to Club Platinum or Club Nintendo Platinum rewards, I think it'd be pretty interesting. But at the same time, it would also strike me as odd. Why try to revive that franchise after? I mean, how long ago was the CDI? Like 20 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily indicative of a revival, though, because they brought back the Game & Watch collections for Club Nintendo at various points, but...
Very true.
You know,
Very true. Even the little
The little what?
The even the little handheld, the sort of Tiger Electronic
Yeah,
handheld.
the Game and Watch ball.
Yeah.
I know my stuff, even though I never got the coins to afford
that was
that
neat.
way.
Me
Speaking of,
neither. You know, I got the first Game & Watch collection, and that was cool.
I was gonna say, speaking of CDI, you know, Nintendo, the demand is there. You need to bring CDI titles to the Virtual Console.
They're going to bring CDI titles to the Virtual Console before they bring me Golden Sun: The Lost Age. Know this.
It's true. They'll bring those before
Randy.
we get GameCube on the Wii U. What?
If Nintendo hears you specifically, and decides to revive the Legend of Zelda CDI titles and put them on Virtual Console, I will go to your house and I will stab you. Letting you know.
Well, we could all make this a big trip since none of us have been to where Randy lives. So
It's true. Let's make this a group effort, Chris Garcia.
You know what, Chris? I would hope that I don't get stabbed at any point because now there is video record on the internet of you with intent wanting to stab me. So first place they're going to be is let's go down to Texas and visit Mr. Garcia. And arrest you.
You can see that devious smile on his face too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already calling the police right now. Anyways.
I'll go stab myself, and then we'll blame Chris. Oh, crap. I just gave away what I was going to do on the internet, too. Oh!
Plus, stabbing yourself, that's a little extreme. I mean, you kind of lose out on the video.
The things Randy does to make a point.
I will go to any length.
Alright, I'll ask you guys a blanket question before we move on. If you could have that platinum reward be anything conceivable, anything within the realm of possibility, mind you, what would you have it be, Chris?
I would say anything. A hand job from Iwata.
Directly.
Within the realm of possibility, and Chris goes right to the hand job. Jesus. Jared, what about you?
I've never really been a big platinum, silver, gold, I don't know, rewards member. So here's the thing, I've used coins in the past and this and that, but I don't know. I still have games that are sealed with codes inside of them, and I just kind of wait until something's awesome comes out. So here's the deal. I don't know what I would want. I got the calendar one year. I wasn't cool enough to get a statue or a soundtrack, so I got a calendar that had a misprint in it. I don't know what I would want. I would want, I don't know, a photograph. A photograph of
What?
I don't know. Of just Bill Trinnan's face, staring at me into my soul. I have to think really hard.
We have our second creepy answer in a row. Randy, you want to keep the momentum going?
Yep. Hand job from Reggie Fils-Aimé. No. Fils-Aimé. He seems like a guy who knows what he's doing.
Oh my.
You're asking to get it snapped off on that one.
Or be laser off.
Oh, God.
That's horrible. I would say, to be serious...
Wait. So that's what Reggie meant when he's they're what are you gonna do next year, Reggie? And he just stares at the camera. The last video they posted at E3. That's what's gonna happen.
I was gonna say, for actual answers, I would say a bunch of really cool 3DS stylus things that are have a bunch of Nintendo characters on them. Not just Mario. Give me Zelda and Earthbound and all the other fun stuff. So
I would for my platinum reward, the first set of amiibos. Something, anything, even one amiibo, exclusive to Club Nintendo members.
Exclusive.
And I want it to be either Shulk or Isaac.
there you
Well,
go.
hey, if that Smash Brothers roster leak is true, we may be getting a Shulk amiibo.
Oh
It's
man.
damn true.
Might happen.
And you know what? That's the one amiibo I'll buy.
we can get an exclusive amiibo of Shulk that has the swimsuit outfit you can equip him in. The
Yes.
swimming oil.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh, Lord.
We do have something good here from James Danzel III, who says, Platinum Reward, Miyamoto's still beating heart.
Oh, no,
Wow.
he needs that.
He does need that. You can't have Star Fox. If you just...
Yeah, I mean, unless we get him a pacemaker or something.
Oh,
Dude,
How can he know the great game?
our audience is pretty dark sometimes, you guys.
I
We're
love
going
it, though.
Oh, yeah,
Stabbing.
kidding.
Hand jobs to be still beating heart.
Okay, let's go. Let's jump back to Chris and his superpower. Chris, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh. Yes, it actually goes back to, of course, I'm a big fan of comic books and the like, so it's kind of odd when the sort of superpower I wanted actually doesn't come from comic books at all, but comes from Magic the Gathering, which I'll bring up later in the news.
Oh boy!
Continue. Oh, foreshadowing. There's a character called Chainer, and he sort of has the ability to manifest nightmares in the real world and inflict them on people. And that was pretty cool. And I read that, and I was like, that'd be neat to have, because unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's the same for the rest of you gents. I don't have normal dreams ever. Every time I dream, it's always a nightmare.
Ooh.
So I've got quite a
Woof.
few kind of stacked up there. So
Ouch.
I got material to pull from.
Nice.
Might as well use it, right? Positive.
Hey,
Positive.
hey, Chris. Would you say
Hey.
you were Little Nemo, the Dream Master? Had
He
to
just
be
does
done.
like
that
a
game.
magical transformation
You know
into
that.
Little Nemo right now.
Had to be done. Sorry, guys.
Deco says if any Xenoblade Chronicles amiibo needs to be in a swimsuit, it's Dunban, and I agree. Just to know, I agree with you.
He's also saying that on behalf of friend of the show, Charlotte, who also agrees.
Yes. He also gave a superpower and says, I want the power to irradiate people. Which, that's all right, man. More power to
Awful.
you.
That sounds worse than mine.
We'll keep this momentum of dark going throughout this
Wow.
entire episode.
It's true.
Maybe I'll turn on a light. God.
Maybe we should
That's
switch
straight
it back up.
awful.
John, talk about Pokemon, please.
All right, you guys
And
ready?
try not to remember that.
You guys are totally ready for this because it's time for Pokemon Talk.
Ooh.
PokemonCenter.com is opening on August 6th, 2014.
Ooh.
I'm not sure what the purpose of this place is just yet, but from looking at the pre-opening page, they have some neat Pokemon products available for purchase over the internet. So I'm assuming that it's going to be Pokemon's answer to like the Nintendo World Store or something to that effect, but it will be an online marketplace featuring a whole bunch of snazzy Pokemon items. And depending on what they sell, it could be right up my alley. So, you know what? I'll be there on August 6th, and I'll be able to see what it is they're selling. But hey,
John.
what's up?
Yeah, actually, you are completely correct. They do have Pokemon centers. They have numerous Pokemon centers in Japan. I know they have several, and they just opened up a Pokemon center in, I want to say, France. And that's all they are. They are basically like a Nintendo World Store for Pokemon items. And some of them, I'm not sure if you had seen the limited edition, the 3DS LL, the Japanese one with the gold case that had the look like vines crawling across it, and like Xerneas and
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I did see
that kind of design. That was exclusive. That was exclusive to Pokemon centers in Japan.
Oh wow.
It looks like I
So
got
it's really
Release
big, yes.
some exclusive merch.
looks like I got
Yeah.
John the wrong 3DS when I went to Japan. Because I went to the Pokemon Center. I went to the one, I think it was the one in Sendai. I don't know, kind of a blur now. But yeah, Good times. It was cool. It was kind of like the first floor of Nintendo World, but a lot better. It wasn't like the biggest store, but definitely very busy. That's pretty neat.
Also, in Pokemon news, Pokemon Symphonic Evolutions has been announced. This is the Pokemon Company's answer to Zelda Symphony of the Goddesses. It is a Pokemon orchestral tour. I am super duper interested in this, but for now there are only dates in Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. If I'm not mistaken off the top of my head, I think D.C. is sometime in mid-August and Philadelphia is sometime in mid-September. I hope they announce numerous dates, and I hope even one of them comes anywhere near me, because that's something I want to see. Like, I've always been a huge, huge fan of the music of the Pokemon series, so why not? Another experience I can bond with my fellow Nintendo fans over, you know?
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the that song that Misty sings. Ash. About laying underneath the stars. Good night, Ash. Good night, Misty. Blah blah blah.
And I really like the
Wow,
Poke
Jared.
Rap. If they
I
could
love
play the
that
Poke
song.
Rap-
What?
They could play the Poke Rap at this place.
Dude, yes.
Audience participation.
Is
They
required.
can play that Donna Summer song
Oh yeah.
from the Pokemon movie 2000.
The world will turn to ash. Hey, Chris, since we missed you before, let's talk some magic.
Yeah.
Yes, let's. You guys know how to get me excited.
Ooh.
Let's
Oh,
see.
yeah.
So does Iwata.
First of all, very true. If anyone listening right now plays or has played Magic the Gathering, please let me know, because I feel like I'm alone here on this podcast. Dirty
It's lonely
Prince
on the
Randy
top.
over there used to, but he gave it up.
Sorry.
Yes, Dirty Prince Randy. You're Dirty Prince Randy
Hey,
right now.
hey,
Sorry.
Chris. I didn't do
Huh?
magic when I was younger. I did
Are you-
Pokemon cards.
Did you do magic? Are you on the gathering? Like things that parents or grandparents would ask.
I was gonna say, as it would have it, Magic is often being compared to a drug nowadays. But Magic the Gathering news, they do have more spoilers for the Magic 2015 core set, including a new Planeswalker, Garruk, Apex Predator, which looks incredible. And if anyone out there plays Magic, it's big deal. It's a big deal because he's only the second Planeswalker ever printed to have 4 abilities, and he looks like he's going to kill a lot of people. So that's nice.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, the Magic 2015 Duels of the Planeswalkers game does look like it has a date, if Steam is any indication. The July 16th is going to be the release of the Steam version of the game, and the other one shouldn't be too far behind. So it'll be hitting Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, iOS for iPads, Android for tablets, basically everything except for handhelds. So. And this one in particular looks like it's going to be really cool because it's going to allow completely free-form deck building within the game, which is something that has sort of been exclusive to Magic Online, which, in my opinion, really sucks.
Yeah, you showed me that card the other day.
Yay!
You showed me that card the
What's
other
that?
day. That thing is sexy.
I did.
So,
I
and
did.
it's-
Didn't his face was like, I'm going to get you.
Yeah, like he will
Get you, and I'm going to...
eat
put it
your
in your
children, punch your grandmother in the face.
Yes. Very much so.
That is awesome. I see someone down here has in the outline something for a movie that was announced. Who wrote that in there? Was that Jared?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
I wrote that.
Yeah. What's happening?
The Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, I
Like-
know that guy.
I know him too.
Yeah, we're
He,
friends.
I know that
He's
guy.
my dad.
Oh,
He
My dad works
posted.
for Nintendo, and he said during E3 this would happen.
So he released like this 30-second maybe, yeah, 30 seconds video, and he's just like, blah 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 blah, Pacific Rim TV series, Pacific Rim this and that, and we're working on to build up production for Pacific Rim 2, the movie, coming out in probably 2017. It's people are saying it sounds like 2017, but I think the TV series might be coming out then too. So whatever, it looks like it's 2017, which is really cool. So really interested to see what's going to happen with Pacific Rim 2 since the events of Pacific Rim happened. So he just said that they're going to bring more Jaegers and more kaiju. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Whatever that
Still
is.
haven't seen the first one. I have 30
Okay.
years to do that.
I have it on the Blue Razzle, and I have it on the DVDs. So we'll figure that out someday.
True. Maybe I'll bunk in Jared's house and we can watch it.
There you go. It's a lot of fun bunking in Jared's house, not the movie.
Whatever happened to Hellboy 3, man?
Very good question.
No, I'm serious. Like Pacific Rim fans, I'm happy for you, but I've been waiting for Hellboy 3 for like years and years, man.
God, it's been like a decade, hasn't it?
Seems.
Yeah.
I've heard this. I'm not an expert on like what happens with Guillermo del Toro, but I've heard that he attaches himself to a lot of projects and then eventually something gets made, and it seems like he might be bouncing around a lot. I mean, this is, like, what about James Cameron? Like, when is Battle Angel happening? He said after Avatar. Well, guess what? Avatar was made, and now he's just like, we've got at least 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 more movies happening, so Battle Angel's been put on hold. But he's just like, yo, this is still happening. So, these people, money, who knows?
Right. I would love to see a new Hellboy too. So I can only hope.
Especially with that cliffhanger on Hellboy 2. Like you can't leave me there.
It's true. Asterax says, I hope they get rid of the original pilot in the next Pacific Rim. You didn't like the main guy in that one?
What was his name? Was it Raleigh? Raleigh Beckett? Raleigh? Raleigh!
I spy a Sailor Baylor.
Bro,
Sailor Baylor found a bug on the floor.
Delicious. Speaking of bugs and bug types, Patrick says, is PokemonCenter.com like WebMD for Pokemon?
Yes. I was personally diagnosed with Pikachu-itis there.
Wow.
Send help.
Yeah, is there a charity that we can donate to help you with your Pokemon-itis? Or Pikachu-itis, sorry.
Is that why they're only opening up a Pokemon Center online here? Because there's no free healthcare in the U.S.?
Oh, yeah. Oh!
Chris Garcia's got the jokes!
Oh, I love it. Asterak wants to know, Chris, what about the Vita with Magic the Gathering 2015? No Vita love?
Sadly, it doesn't look like that's a dream that's ever going to happen.
Oh, you know what else is really weird was someone had pointed out on Twitter that apparently a bunch of retailers don't have Vitas in stock, and Amazon is out of stock as well. So it's like, what's going on there?
Yeah, well, so subsites were talking about it for like the last week. Actually, I can even input.
You work for Best Buy, that's right.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone I know wanted to buy a Vita, so they came in expecting to be able to buy one, but we were out. And I looked, and just as you can find this out by going on bestbuy.com and then searching for zip codes of stores that have it in stock near you, but like no one had it. Like the closest store was in Maine and in Massachusetts, so that's pretty far. And no way to order online, and it was true for every retailer. So a lot of sites started asking Sony, and they actually posted a statement that it was because of a bit of a higher demand in some markets. And whatever you make of it, if it was a PR statement, sure, but I don't know. It was just weird, which didn't have any. So, but I guess they said relief is coming soon.
Huh? Interesting.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
so now those who finally want to go get a Vita can't have it. Should have listened. Should have gotten some before. Guys, Jared, Randy.
I'm good, dude.
PlayStation TV.
Alright, I think that wraps us up for news.
I think it does. That's exciting stuff. Oh, one little tiny quick thing. Today came out the Theater Finder to go watch Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods in theaters near you in North America. So you can find that on Funimation's website as well as I think DragonBallZ.com.
Goku punches things.
Goku does punch things. He also
Beerus.
kicks things. And Beerus is there.
Wow.
And that's fun.
Goku punches things. He has
And
something in
Vegeta
common
does
with
a
John.
fun dance.
Vegeta does do a fun dance. So it comes out early August. I think it's like the 5th, 6th, and 7th and some other dates. So there's actually like 4 or 5 theaters in my area, so I have my choice. So that'll be fun to see a Dragon Ball Z movie that's good in theaters. God, that was terrible. Anyway, let's move on to what we've been doing. Jared, you have been doing stuff. What is up, man?
I've been doing some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I've been doing is I finished season 1 of Lost. I did that late last night,
Nice.
and then like after that, I just had to watch the first few minutes of season 2 because those are like my favorite scenes of. Okay, they're like some of the scenes that like just stand out the most with me from when I originally watched Lost. So like the first few minutes of episode 2, of the first episode 1 season 2 is just like for some reason one of my favorites. It introduces basically my favorite character from the series. The way it's done, and it completely like they narratively they lead you down this path of like something cool, and then stuff just happens, and you're like, oh my god. So it was like 4 a.m., so I had to stop watching, but it was totally cool being able to watch Lost, and there's like 5 more seasons, so it was pretty cool. Yeah, so any Lost fans out there, season 2, episode 1, first 5 minutes, totally cool.
I think Holly's like a few episodes into season 3 now, so she's still ahead of you.
Well, I wasn't trying to catch up, but
You're in a race, I don't know if you know, but whoever gets to the last bit of the finale gets my undying love.
ooh,
There's a prize. And it's not a hand job from a Nintendo employee.
no, it's Jonathan
But I
Higgins
guess
and
we're
Diane
gonna start
Love.
watching Lost now.
I might have to step up my game. Oh man, because it took me 2 weeks to do 23 episodes. Holy crap. Oh god. Okay, cool. We'll see what happens. Feel like it's a lose-lose situation. Let's see here. I played through and I beat Shovel Knight.
Ooh.
Jared finished a game, ladies and gentlemen.
That
It
happened.
it must be good if Jared is willing to finish it.
That or just like, a well-made game that is entertaining. Yeah, I beat Shovel Knight. It was a good game. I liked it. It was the music was really good too.
Oh my goodness. See, I said this on Twitter. I'll say it for our backwards compatible listeners too. I have a little money in my savings account. I will put down $1,500 of my own money right now to watch Pixel Amaya and Jake Kaufman get together and do sort of a dueling chiptunes battle music thing. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes, and then you'd be out $1,500.
Yes.
I know, but I'd give it like to charity, and it would all be for a good cause. I'll set up the whole damn thing. I'll
That's
make it
my.
happen.
Speaking of
Why isn't this a
soundtrack-
thing?
Ooh, speaking of soundtracks, what's
Speaking
up,
of the
Chris?
soundtrack nerds, if you guys go to vert.bandcamp.com, you can actually get the chiptune and arranged soundtrack of Shovel Knight's for no money
For
at
free.
all, if you so choose.
Free.
Or, free, yeah, $0. Or you can go ahead and pay him whatever you think it's worth.
Hmm.
Listeners, go ahead and get the soundtrack. If you can give the man a few bucks, he definitely deserves it because the soundtrack really is awesome. Still
It's
haven't played the game,
so
but I've
true.
listened to the soundtrack, and it's
The
great.
Flying
Yeah.
Machine, or what is the actual song called? High in the Sky or something to that effect. But the music for the Flying Machine, that's my hotness, man. That's
Yeah, it's
my
really
hotness.
good. I bought one of his releases on that site once, for some game I've never played. I forget. I don't know.
DuckTales?
Switch Force. What is it?
Oh, Mighty Switch Force.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mighty Switchboard.
I think I
love
gave
that
him like
game.
$10. I kind of made it like, here you go. So I think that's what I would do. I was planning on getting it, the soundtrack, but I just didn't do that yet. Um, Music is fantastic. The love and creativity that went into it is great. Jonathan and I have done a lot of talking about elements of like almost a non-existent story, and maybe we observed it too closely. But it's really cool because there's not like it's pretty straightforward with like events that happen, but there's not a lot of story. But he and I came to different conclusions on.
Many things can be inferred. It's a
Yeah.
story that can give the imaginative mind plenty to read into.
I think the game like plays really well. I heard that one of the with this release of the game had like maybe a few bugs in it, but I didn't come across anything.
I ran into the one bug when you're fighting. This will just be a PSA until they patch it up. But when you're fighting Tinker Knights, that boss has 2 phases. Something happens at the end of phase 1 to switch it into phase 2. When you finish off a boss, the screen sort of slows down and gets you into this sort of finish him animation sort of deal where he falls to the ground. Don't land on the ground at the same time as the boss. If you do, Shovel Knight will freeze in place during phase 2 and you will have no choice but to restart the game, which means restarting the level. I wasn't really bitter because that was one of my favorite levels, so I just got to play through it again, but just so you're aware, don't land on the ground when you kill that guy.
So, yeah, okay, now I know which night it was. What was cool was like I remember playing that game at the first PAX East I went to, so it'd be 2013, and I crashed it at this like location in it's like the one of the first or second like levels, and that location is still in the game, and I jumped in.
Crashed
I
it?
tried to, but it wouldn't work, so that was fixed.
Yay!
It was cool.
QA testers.
Yeah.
I didn't. I forgot the. So yeah, that's Shovel Knight, and I do think it's great. Totally cool. John told me that there's been talk about Shovel Knight 64 as a possibility someday in the future.
Guys should check out. I forget what issue of Nintendo Force it is, but that magazine that's run for Nintendo fans by Nintendo fans for all intents and purposes, they just kickstarted year 2. There's an interview with Yacht Club Games where they talk about sequel possibilities, and Yacht Club Games is basically just like, yeah, we'd love to make Super Shovel Knight, but we'd even more love to make Shovel Knight 64, because who doesn't love a 3D platformer?
Right.
And I think they would know how to do it.
Yes, they would.
I know John will have more to talk about for Shovel Knight. The one thing I will say is some people have been talking about how like if you loved I don't know, like Zelda 2 and Mega Man and Super Mario Bros. 3 when you were young, and you loved those games, you would like Shovel Knight a lot. Well, here's the deal. Like, I didn't play Mega Man, and I did not. I played Zelda 2 for like 2 minutes, alright? No, like, that's not like what fueled me to play Shovel Knight, so like, I can't make the connection, but I know that it's definitely a well-made game as a platformer. There's a lot more depth to it than I was expecting, just with like upgrading armor and some other cool
So much
little
more
things.
depth than I was ever expecting. Like, that game is way more than meets the eye, not to make a Transformers joke.
It's close enough. So I didn't put it in the outline, but last night I actually played more Bomberman Hero, the real Bomberman game. All I'm going to say about Bomberman Hero is I'm really surprised that when I was a child, because that's when I must have played that game. basically, I'm surprised I had the patience to actually get through it, because I remember like beating the game. I know I beat Bomberman Hero because I remember some of the final boss stuff being really challenging, and like I can't believe that I had the patience to like even try. Um,
I just want to hug you right now, Jared.
it was like there's just so much like oh god, Bella found her squeaky toy finally.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, the Baylor makes
And
an
dogs love
impression.
cats.
Um, yeah, she's all like hyped up now because I don't know what's going on. She had a nap. So yeah, Bomberman Hero happened. I finished a few anime series today, despite the fact that there was a pretty decent thunderstorm and I was without power for like 3 or 4 hours.
Oh.
The some of the series I finished were Brynhildr Into the Darkness, which for anyone, probably like no one out there that's listening who watched that show, but if you did, Brynhildr is full of like awful like plot devices of fan service, but the underlying sci-fi plot is actually pretty decent, and in the end, not bad. And they like ran out of time, and so that's cool, but just not the best kind of series. I finished No Game No Life, which has to have a second season because it's gotten popular. The wonderful there was an article headline on Kotaku, and they said if you're a gamer, you need to watch No Game No Life, and I kind of disagree with that heavily. Because if you're a gamer, I don't I don't think so. Like I don't think you need to watch this. But you know what? It's actually it's like decent. It's like okay. It's like a way to kill the time. But it's not like, in my opinion, it's not top-notch anime. But it's definitely like decent. The World is Still Beautiful was like this like shoujo romance show that I watched. That episode, I watched the final episode today. Actually had a different ending than I was expecting, so that's all I'll really say on that. Like usually you expect things to be all happy and cheery in the end of like a show like that, but it was definitely kind of different and sad. Yeah, okay. 1 Week Friends, which I've talked about a few times, that show ended in a way that I wasn't expecting either, and it was not super happy or cheery. It was actually kind of sad as well, but it wasn't like super sad, like because the whole premise of that was that girl would like lose her memories once a week. She things
And now
happened.
she lost her memories permanently, and everyone dies.
No. It's just like totally. It's like it was like a season of like so far from what I've seen of endings that just were different than I was expecting, which is good, but they weren't mind blowing. 1 Week Friends, I think, is pretty strong material though. And then there's this show that I never wanted to admit that I watched, but I'm going to. The Comic Artist and His Assistants. It is based around like perversion. So I've been doing this thing with seasons of anime lately where I'll watch good stuff and I'll watch bad stuff, and I'm trying to get a sense of it all. So I did that again this season, and I watched Comic Artists and His Assistants. The problem, though, is that I started to enjoy the comedy bits and the voice actor, who does a really good job. Other than that, it's not good. It's not a good show. But holy crap, is it like funny? Like kind of like you looked at it and like you're ashamed that you're like, what? Oh, this episode, these are 15 minutes long, and there's like 3 mini episodes within a 15-minute episode. I can handle this. This is whoa, this is ridiculously. This is awful. I'm gonna start laughing at this. Wow, that's how I felt. Yeah, it's about like a manga like creator and how he's serialized in a magazine, but he always has to meet this deadline and all this stuff, and he draws like perverted stuff, and his assistants are women, and it's really just bad anime, but it's funny. And then I started reading the Flowers of Evil manga because Sentai Filmworks actually writes stuff. They shipped me this wonderful Blu-ray collection of Flowers of Evil like 10 days early. Like, if you go to writestuff.com, it says it's not available yet, but I own it. So it's here.
They knew
And
it was you, Jared. They knew it was you.
yeah, they knew it was me. It comes out July 8th or something like that. Or I don't know. But yeah, if you order it, maybe you'll get it before then. And then so I've been reading the Flowers of Evil manga because I wanted to like watch it together simultaneously. And I'm a fan of that.
Very cool.
hmm
You had a fun week.
It was a fun week, but man.
And ended on a bit of an iffy note with that thunderstorm.
Yeah.
I mean, that just sucked because I couldn't watch like Captain Earth and the regular Magic High School and some other anime stuff that I wanted to catch up on, but it's okay.
All the more to talk about next week.
Yeah.
Actually, I did watch episode 1 of Free like an hour ago.
Yes. Same
Season
here.
2. You watched
Y'all
it?
can talk
I
about
did.
that, I suppose.
I did get to
Should I
watch it,
wait?
Jared.
Did I wait? Talk about it with you?
No, let's just do it now. You brought it up,
Okay.
man. Let's talk
All right.
about it.
I see it's on
Free
your list.
Eternal Summer. Yeah.
Oh man.
The show is eye candy. Like, not just because the guys, not just because the guys are shirtless and in swimsuits.
Chris
Just
and I
because
got a good laugh out of that.
it's animated really well, and they know how to draw water.
They
but-
do. It's actually
man.
ridiculous.
And I read Playboy for the articles.
Hey.
Free.
Free. Yeah.
You know, for an original like series, the pacing and the writing is really good.
Yeah.
Kind of ridiculously well done in that regard. They know it's like they're not adapting anything. They're just like, here's this cool story.
Yeah, and I think it's cool how things have sort of changed since season 1 because like the whole big conflict has kind of been resolved and everybody's friends again and everything's fine. I'm interested to see like how things are going to go with this new guy that they've been teasing the whole episode, and then finally in the next episode we get to meet like what his whole deal is, because it seems like Rin knows him, and it seems like maybe can't remember if it was like Haru seemed like he knew him or something. But it's like, this would be interesting, just suddenly another person, or if it's just going to be like, oh yeah, remember when we were kids and there was a time we never ever talked about it until right now, there was that other guy. Yeah, remember him?
Oh, there's that, or it could be someone when Rin was like
In
studying
Australia.
In Australia, when he was doing his crazy like stuff, that could have been it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad they introduced him. They introduced him right at the end of that episode, and then so like next episode we'll learn more about him. You know, it's a good plot, a good ploy. It's a good stuff.
Yeah. What did you think about the new opening and ending, Jared? What were your thoughts on that?
I am remembering the opening right now. Animated really well. Doesn't stick out as much as the first Free opening, although I can barely remember it. No, I remember it now. Yeah. Nothing kind of beats the first ending for me. So
Ditto. I'm gonna agree. Even though
I have to admit, yeah, seeing Rin, I don't know why. Like at certain times, like when I did go on the trip to Japan, there's a bunch of free merchandise. I couldn't remember any of the characters' names. I was like, oh yeah, that was a good show. But then like I watched the first episode of Free today, and I'm like, man, this is like pretty good. Like I don't know why I'm fanboying out on this, but I did think it was hilarious that like Rin was in a cop outfit.
yeah, and it was like not regular cop either, because he was doing a lot of weird stripper movements. Like, are you actually a cop or are you just a stripper?
Oh Lord.
But at least the new ending's done by the voice actors again doing the ending song. I think it's just I'm really attached to the first opening and ending, and eventually these will grow on me.
In time, Randy and Jared.
True.
In time.
But yeah, we're just one episode in, and I'm assuming this is just going to be another like 12, 13 episode thing instead of 26-ish.
It's gonna be, yeah. And so just so everyone knows out there, today and maybe yesterday basically kick off the summer anime season. So over the next, I guess it was tonight in Japan, which is already, I'm not even trying to figure that out. A bunch of stuff is going to air, and then to the next like 3 days, big stuff. And Sword Art Online 2 comes out within 2 or 3 days. So basically, yeah, it's happening. It's real. It's here now, and thank God there's new stuff coming out. 'Cause it's going to be a
So,
better
ladies
season.
and gentlemen, you can all look forward to your weekly free updates.
They
Yes.
are free. You don't have to pay anything for them.
And you can also look forward to when Jonathan gushes about Terror in Tokyo or whatever that anime is
Yeah.
called, because that will be the one anime on my radar. That's it.
And it'll be a good one. I'm gonna watch it too, so we can talk about that.
We'll
Jared,
have
are you
things to
gonna
talk
watch?
about.
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
Okay. And then don't forget, of course, Sailor Moon starts on Saturday. So get
Fighting
hyped.
Evil by Moonlight.
Yes.
For giving shout outs, I'm going to say Glass Slip starts. That was the show I was referencing.
Oh.
So there you go.
There you go. Okay, so I can cross free off my list because we did
It's
get that
true,
already
but I
covered.
think you still have much more to discuss.
I do. So remember last time when I said I'd been pretty good on the Steam sale and only spent like $6.
You're a liar.
Some things change, and Randy probably spent close to 25 in the end. My friend Pat, who I've talked about before, we do Basement Quality, our Let's Play show
He's a
and stuff.
total tool, and I hate him.
Why?
I love Pat. I'm just joking. I'm seeing if
Okay.
he's paying attention, really.
Gotcha. I just wanted to see if there was a reason, like you two were duking it out.
No. Unless I could, like, take a joke really, really far. I don't know. I don't have the creative juices. They're not flowing, Randy.
Well, Iwata is really good at getting juices flowing.
I knew you were going to say that, too. That's why I said it.
Oh boy. Well, anyway, Pat and I were just finishing up Resident Evil 6, and he said, "Hey, look at this! Revelations is on sale for like $10 or something, whatever, on Steam sale." So I'm like, "Well, that's cheap enough for me to find a cave." So I picked up
Randy
Resident.
Caves.
Yeah, I picked up Resident Evil Revelations, and I was gonna be good. I was gonna plan on playing Xenogears this past weekend, and
I don't see any Xenogears on your outline, Randy.
there's a reason for that, and the reason is because I'm talking about Revelations, because I started it up. I'm like, I'm just gonna play this a bit because I did play Revelitons, the 3DS version. Don't know why they changed the name between ports. Anyway, spoilers, it was just a typo on their box art because.
Randy has the jokes too. Everybody
True.
on the Backwards Compatible podcast has the jokes.
Oh man! But anyway, I was like, "Oh, I'll play this and see how it compares to the 3DS version." And then I spent all weekend and I beat it. I beat the whole game already.
Wow.
So now I'm all set to take on either a new game plus or play co-op raid mode. So that'll be fun.
Or
It's
you
a
can
good-
go back to Xenogears.
I could do that too, which is what I kind of want to do. But it was a good game. It plays different than 6 because 6 was really different anyway. But it plays like more of a weird mix between like the classic games like 1, 2, and 3, and then as well as like 4 and 5 mixed in there. It was good. It looked pretty great for a 3DS game. Ported over to things like Wii U, PS3, 360, and PC. So I mean, it looked good and it sounded great. Gameplay was good. What was great about it being a 3DS game was it made it really easy to pick up and put down, even if you weren't playing it on a handheld. There were frequent checkpoints, so if I had to quit and like leave to go do something, I could come back, and at most I missed like 5 minutes or less of progress. So it was good for that. It went on a lot longer than I was expecting because like I looked at the achievements. And there was things like, oh, beat chapters 1 through 3, and then 4 through 6, and then 7 through 9. And that's where it stopped, and then it went into other things. And I'm like, oh, okay, so there's only like 9 chapters. And I was playing, I'm like, oh, I got to like chapter 6 when I was playing on the 3DS, so I must have been pretty close to finishing it. Yeah, there's a lot more. There's like 12 plus chapters. So like I sat down with Eric like after dinner on Sunday, and I'm like, hey, I just beat chapter 9. I'm pretty sure I just have a cutscene to watch now. Do you mind if I just finish this game in 10 minutes? It's like, yeah, go for it. Yeah, I've played the rest of the night because there's more to go. Like,
You're
I'm
a
sorry.
horrible boyfriend.
I'm like, here. He's like, do you mind if I just take the Wii U gamepad and watch like Star Trek? I'm like, yeah, go for it. Apparently, this isn't ending anytime soon. Oh, but it was good. It ended a lot differently than normal Resident Evils because they all end with fight the big monster and shoot a rocket launcher into its face. Every single one of them ends that way. This one had that, but then there was more. It's like, oh, okay. I guess I won't argue. It gave me more gameplay and stuff. So, if you have not gotten a chance to play Revelations or Revelations yet, you can pick it up for basically anything and at a decent price. I think it's down like 30 or
Anything but
something.
Vita.
Yeah, anything but Vita. Sorry, guys.
Or Vita.
Vita's
Nope.
left out again. Oops.
Yeah, there were more
Like the
than
misfortune of Vita.
there will more than likely be an iOS port before there is a Vita port.
Amen to
Um,
that, brothers.
Yeah, so but yeah, if you've got any of those other systems that you could play video games on, and you dig Resident Evil games, go for it because it is a ton of fun. And still kind of bums me out that they didn't add like actual campaign co-op to it for the normal game because you have a partner with you at all times. Just kind of makes sense because since 5 they've done online co-op, but meh, Capcom don't understand them. Probably never will. Uh, Other things that I've been doing recently for a friend, I was going through and lending .hack sign and .hack roots to because something he had never seen, but he dug Log Horizon and bits and pieces of Sword Art Online. Um, so I was like, well, you should check out .hack because it's good stuff. And then he had seen .hack Quantum, but so then I was like, you know what? It's a Saturday morning. And it's been a couple of years since I watched .hack Quantum, and it's only 3 episodes, so I sat down and I watched that again. And it's good stuff, man. I really miss when the .hack franchise was important and relevant to the industry. Those were good old
You're gonna make
days.
me cry, Randy.
I know,
You're
right?
gonna make me cry. I feel your pain so much.
It's rough
This
being a
.hack
.hack
was,
fan.
man, I know
Did
it is. And the funny thing is, constantly I'm posting pictures and stuff like that, of my little Haseo figure that came with the
Volume
little
1 of
limited
GU.
edition of .hack Volume 1. I have Subaru figures. I have a gigantic Grunty
Aw.
plush that I actually gave my son so he can cuddle with in the wee hours of the night.
Oh, that's
And
adorable.
I'll take a picture. It's really great.
Yes.
But I post all these pictures on Twitter and stuff, and the community manager for CC2 Corp here in America them and replying back, and I'm like, I'm like, when are we gonna see more .hack? When are we gonna see more .hack? And he's like, dude, ask Namco Bandai.
hmm
No.
Yeah. I mean,
One single tear streams down their
I
faces.
know.
we didn't get
That's so
.hack
awful.
link, so there's that. Although there is a English fan patch out there now, so you can play .hack link in English if you want. And then I think a couple of weeks back, the .hack movie, which was like a Japan only thing, the Blu-ray also has a fighting game for the PS3 on it.
Nice.
Yes.
Of .hack. That was actually on sale on like PlayAsia or something for like $10, and I really wanted
And
to
you
get it.
can import things because the PlayStation is a region-free console.
So you could play that. It's just a fighting game, but still something. And then there was the announcement that we would get Guilty Dragon way back in like October of 2012, and we still don't have it, which is kind of like a weird sequel-ish thing to .hack. Yeah, oops. Way to go, guys. Namco Bandai.
Did you guys hear that? It's the ball dropping.
Yeah, way to go, guys. Chris, did you ever watch .hack Quantum?
You know what? I never did. I
Ooh.
never did. I really need to.
I would recommend that you do.
That's
You
the
guys
only
could all
thing.
have a powwow and talk .hack on next week's show. Chris, get on watching it.
Do it.
Even I can
Yeah.
partially add to this .hack discussion that I played the first title of .hack Sign up, I believe it was the final boss, and I couldn't figure it out. I don't think I progressed through the game properly, so I was not doing good, so I quit. I edited a video in high school to music from .hack Sign soundtrack. So that happened. I fell in love with the music. Also, I know what that plush that Chris you're talking about because I don't have it. I do have a plush from Last Exile, which is like a goat type thing, but I remember the grunty plush.
I have that one too.
You do?
Yeah, I have the. I love that first season of Last Exile. I really love it. I have it's like the half cow, half yak thing that.
Yep.
It was Lavi's when she was young.
Yeah. Wait.
Before we move on,
Wait. No. This is happening. This is.
Oh.
Jared's reaching.
Oh.
That ass.
This is
Nope. Oh, dude. Look
Yay!
at it.
It's balls over.
That's
Gotta
the
go.
one. Yeah.
Anyways.
Still,
Man, I wish I could go.
I have to cut you guys off for a question from Astrak, who asks, is there a great .hack series, or should I just start from the beginning?
I would say it's best to start from the beginning, because there are a lot of little
Wait, what is
references
he-
to things. What?
Is he talking about anime, video games? What is he talking about?
Anime,
I'm sure-
probably.
Well, that's tough. I would say, well, if we're going to include everything, because most stuff is still, well, other than the anime, sometimes can be easy to can be hard to find. A lot of the more recent stuff is standalone. You don't have to really have a background history with things. You could watch .hack Quantum and be fine. It's 3 episodes, and it's really, really well done. Doesn't really rely on anything in the previous series to watch or play or read or anything like that. So I would say go for that. It's also really easy to find. Otherwise, start at the beginning. Watch .hack Sign. It'll have a new release coming out soon.
Listener Jason asks, if someone were to get into .hack via DVD or Blu-ray, where would you start then?
Probably go Quantum. So, meh. You'd have to wait a little bit because love a sore throat.
I would
But I
say.
Go for it.
Oh, me? Okay. I
Yeah.
would say definitely start with Sign. Watch .hack Sign. Watch that whole thing first. Then play the original. What is it? Tetralogy is the I think proper word for that.
Yeah.
So play the original Tetralogy. You know, infection, mutation, whatever,
Outbreak.
and quarantine. All those. Outbreak and quarantine. I always forget Outbreak for some reason. But yeah, then play those because that does actually directly follow .hack Sign in the continuity. Plus, I think Liminality takes place during. And Liminality is, I guess, for those of you who don't know, are these DVDs that came with the original PS2 games. Each one of them has, and it's basically kind of like an OVA length. It's like 20 or so, 30 minutes each. And you watch all of them, and it completes another story that takes place during the events of the .hack tetralogy. And then, if you want to, I guess, follow things once again in order, you can either watch the .hack Legend of the Twilight anime or read the manga. I really recommend the manga because it's a lot better. It's only 3 volumes, and they should be fairly easy to find, like on Amazon and stuff. And then from there, go to .hack Roots, the anime, which takes place next in the continuity. And then finally, the .hack GU series, which is 3 games instead of 4 this time. And those ones are actually really good. Both, yeah, there we go, Randy. Those are good gameplay-wise and story-wise.
Hold that up one more time,
Whereas
man.
maybe-
I've got the camera on you. I can do that. Look at you. He's got them all.
Yes. Well,
Nicely
put
done, sir.
the first 4 out there, Randy. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have that game on the left. Oh man.
I ain't got diddly squat. Sorry, gentlemen.
I got all those too, but mine are tucked away inside
That
my
is
house.
too much
I'm
of a
out here outside.
compendium for me to even touch it right now.
Oh man, you're missing out, John.
Oh, I
You
know.
love stories. If you love a good story, oh, there you go. He's showing off Liminality too.
Look at him. Randy.
But yeah.
Randy's got the goods.
I know. He's pulling them all out here.
Randy actually
But yes,
has a
that's,
game collection,
that's
unlike
correct.
someone y'all know.
What?
What?
I said Randy actually has a game collection, unlike someone y'all know. According to myself.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, what's he grabbing
I was like,
now?
what are you inferring?
I don't know what Randy's grabbing now.
What is even happening nowadays?
What is even
Just put it
happening?
back.
Well, then
What is
we
even
also
happening?
have,
Wait.
Tag sign.
Oh, yes. Yes.
which this
That
is
dot sign.
Anime Legends, so it's got everything like 8 bajillion discs.
You know,
So-
I'd only be fully impressed if you had the first limited edition.
So would I. And then, but I do have all of these single releases for Dot Hack Roots. So
Nice.
Wow.
That's impressive. Yeah. Okay.
This is the episode
I
where
have
we all
that,
show
and I
off
have
our
the box,
toys.
too.
I have a Yoshi. Y'all check out my red Yoshi.
No,
Y'all
No,
check it
Dot
out.
Hack.
He's
No,
cute.
Dot Hack Toys only.
yeah, come
Dot
on,
Hack
man.
Toys only.
Yeah. Where's my
Boom.
dot hack game?
There's Quantum for you.
You guys, you know what, Randy? That's it. I'm gonna go get them. I'm gonna go get my.
Do it.
I'm gonna go get my stuff too.
I have a pink Yoshi too.
Nah,
Guys, Yoshis.
Yoshis are great. They're
I'll
like
take a
grunties.
picture.
Um,
I'll take a picture and I'll post it on the back
Yeah,
of
the
the
closest
compatible
thing to me
Tumblr.
that's dot hack is the soundtracks.
which
So-
are good.
Yeah.
Those
But
are
yeah,
good.
Astrock said he meant anime, but video games are good too. Yeah, Quantum is really good standalone. Otherwise, if you can get Sign at a decent price or wait for the re-release coming from Funimation, go for that, because that's kind of where it all starts.
Now that we've spent 20 minutes on Dot Hack,
Yeah, I watched more Arrow. Haven't really gotten that much further. Like maybe 2 more episodes. Still really good. Some big revelations.
no
Last week,
spoilers.
no spoilers. Last week I
No,
pimped
it's worth it.
the season 3, book 3 premiere of Legend of Korra. Guess who hasn't watched it yet?
Ooh,
This guy.
slacking. Joe and Christina Walker are supremely disappointed in you, sir.
Probably. So instead, I'm rewatching book 2 to get hype for it. So that way, because I have only seen book 2 episodes like once.
Oh, so
I
you've
like-
only seen them once, so you know. Ugh.
Right, and it's been
Y'all
like 9
have
months.
to watch it like 10,000 times. You and Holly are the same. Bleh, bleh.
I only have like 2 more episodes to go, so then book 3 can happen. And that's what I've been doing. John, I've taken up way
Randy,
too much time.
Randy,
What?
you're moving on too quick, man.
What's up?
I
Why?
wanted to ask you, what do you think about Oliver's new direction? What do you think about his new mission statement?
I dislike it. I liked season 1, Oliver.
Really?
Yeah,
You like the murdering bastard?
I like the murdering bastard. I don't like the guy that's like, oh, I can't kill just
We
because.
know from this
Not
dark
right.
direction of the show that Randy prefers violence.
I'm a very vengeful
That
person.
confident nod says it all.
I'm a very vengeful person, so if there is justice murder happening, I'm probably erect. So,
All right, Chris, we ready to move on?
please.
Okay, so it's my turn. I won't dawdle you guys with too much garbage for too long. Right after the show last week, pretty much, me and Holly, my lady, went to Atlanta to go see the Smartest Man in the World podcast with Greg Proops at the Improv in Atlanta.
Ooh.
And they have some good food there. The highlight of the menu, though, for me personally, and anyone who knows me, Krispy Kreme, but breaded pudding. Like, are you guys serious with me right now? It's the Krispy Kreme glazed donut in pudding form. Like, are you freaking kidding me?
How much did you eat?
I ate more than I should have. I spent $100 on food and drinks. That was not my
Wow.
intention, but
Was that
that's
just
what
on
happened.
you, or did
No,
you pay
no,
for
no,
your lady?
me and Holly both.
Okay.
It's just-
Wow, that is not how I planned it. I just kept, like, we ate at this burger joint right outside of the Improv because the doors hadn't opened yet. And there was, like, this big old Stat Classic burger, and they had freaking moonshine at the place. And I was like, I have to try these things. You only live once.
hmm
As for the show itself, if you guys aren't familiar with who Greg Proops is, think of the show Whose Line Is It Anyway from the 90s that just recently had a revival this past summer. He is from the 90s show. Not the tall one, not the black one, and not the other one. He's the other one with the glasses. He is actually one of the... he's had his own podcast for like 3 years now, and Holly and I have been listening from the start because Holly was a huge Who's Line fan, and she was a big fan of Greg Proops. So when Greg was like, I'm starting my own podcast, here's where you can listen, like Holly jumped on that bandwagon, and I jumped right along with her. Like, he is a super duper cool dude, and that show is super duper down to earth, and to see it live, like, I laughed a lot. But he's such a gentleman. Before every single show, he makes a point to go out and shake the hands of every single one of his audience members. He makes a point to hang out after the show because he knows that people go incredible distances to go see him. So Holly and I got a picture with him, and it's her profile picture on Facebook and everything, and it was all super cute and adorable. Just basically, if you guys want to listen to the things I listen to, The Smartest Man in the World with Greg Proops, look that up on your podcast feed near you because it's out there, trust me. He was even on a friggin' the late show with Craig Ferguson. What is it called?
Yeah, the Late Show with Craig Ferguson.
All right, Late Show with Craig Ferguson. I know Greg was there like maybe a week or two ago promoting his stand-up special and his podcast, of course. But like, he's good people. I had a bunch of laughs. Moving on, Shovel Knight, of course. I don't know if I can add much more than what Jared has said already.
You totes
Other
can.
than, like, what I said last week was, like, I've played many, like, cookie-cutter indie platformers. There have been very, very few that have gone above and beyond what an indie platformer should be. One of those cases is Mutant Mudds for me. And the other case is Shovel Knight. And Mutant Mudds and Shovel Knight are pretty much duking it out right now for my top spot as far as indie platformers go, and I'm genuinely about to declare Shovel Knight the winner. And I feel so sorry to watch them because, like,
I'm
that
gonna
was
go, dude. I'm gonna rat you out.
I know, and he probably knows too. He's got to know. And when they come out with Mutant Mudds 2 and Jules has learned things from Shovel Knight and 1001 Spikes and all the other awesome games that I've seen him playing, like, Mutant Mudds 2 is going to be cray-cray. It's going to knock Shovel Knight off the top spot. And then they're going to come out with Shovel Knight 64. It's going to knock Mutant Mudds 2 off the top spot. And it's going to be so great because all these indie developers are learning from each other and, like, kind of sort of having a friendly competition while doing their own thing. I love it. Love it all. You guys ready to talk about another Nintendo 64 game?
Why not?
I mentioned it briefly last week because I did play just a tiny bit of Star Fox 64 to celebrate the 18th anniversary of the Nintendo 64. But my friend Kara and I, she has a Nintendo 64, and we were just looking for something to do. And I don't remember how the hell we got into that line of conversation, but I just basically decided, fuck it, let's play Star Fox. You have Star Fox, this is going to be awesome. So the first go-around, Kara and I swapped back and forth, playing through each level, and combined, we got a grand score of like 989, and I was pissed that my total hits were under 1,000 because I know 4th grade me could do better. So I just ate some pizza, and I was like, Kara, can I do this one more time? And we got 1,145 or something to that effect. Not much better, but more closer to what I'm capable of as far as my deep-seated Star Fox Pro person, like deep down. You talk about a game I've spent my whole life with? Holy crap. And Kara has spent the better part of today and probably before today trying to beat my top score, and it just makes me smile, makes me giddy. I love it. I love it. Star Fox 64 is amazing, and it made me want to play Star Fox 64 3D again so I could play it on a portable platform. And then I went on the eShop expecting things to have like gone down in price because that game came out when the 3DS first launched or somewhere close to it. I'm like, it's been a few years. Maybe it's gone down from the full MSRP of $39.99. Nope.
Have you ever tried to buy Nintendo games later? They are always full price. Like, it's still ridiculous.
I know.
And besides, you had said before that it's basically the exact same as the 64 version.
It is, though, but it's not portable. But you know what? I'll make it work. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead. Chime in.
No, I'm just saying it's not exactly the same thing.
It's
Come on,
not
guys, let's be real.
exactly the same, but there are a few things. It is the Ocarina of Time 3D to...
Yes.
Yeah, so
I
there are
think
obviously
they're
some
updating
subtle
the
different
Time 3D.
things have been improved, but eh,
Hmm.
whatevs. That's Star Fox 64. Have you guys seen, heard of, etc. Orange is the New Black?
Heard of, but I have not made the commitment to watch yet.
Anyone else?
Heard of it?
And
I heard of
Chris?
it.
Alright, so you're all
Nope.
three on the Heard of It train. I was on the Heard of It train, and then I sat down and watched it. I watched season 1 last year when it was like super duper new and relevant and cutting edge. That is a really, 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 really good show considering its subject matter. It's one of those shows where you spend the whole time not necessarily like going head over heels gaga over the protagonist, but more focusing on the people who support her along the way. I love so much of that show's supporting cast more than I love the main character, Piper. Like, it's amazing, and they established a momentum in season 1, and now that I've seen all of season 2, since my girlfriend did watch season 1 and catch up with me, and we watched it both while I was sick this past week, like, it's such a good show, and if you guys do find the time, it is a show about broken people in a broken place. It's all about brokenness, and you will learn a lot about people in general from the environment that they're in, considering the subject matter. It does take place in a women's correctional facility, and there's just all sorts of shenanigans going on there, and like the supporting cast of that show is what makes it. And that's one of the few examples in modern television that I can think of where every character is just so well done that they just outshine the quote main character of the series. Like, it's cray-cray.
Wow.
Now
I will
then,
watch it sometime, I promise.
here's the legitimate question I have for you guys. So Jared knows that he bought me a 3DS LL while he was in Japan and shipped it over to me. And I have it. It's in my drawer right now. I bought my first ever retail purchase of a Japanese 3DS game from Japan. What was it, gentlemen?
Kuda Kuda Dane.
No, Jared's wrong.
Could it have been?
Okay, I'll give you guys a
Could it have
hint.
been a Golden
I'll
Sun
give you
game?
guys several hints. It's a game I know very, 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 very well.
Super Mario Bros. 3.
What's up?
Xenoblade.
No, it's not Xenoblade. Xenoblade's not on the 3DS. But if it was, God, I'd be all over it.
I was going to make the guess before that it was going to be the Attack on Titan 3DS game, but
Nope.
guess I was wrong. You bought the Japanese version of Ocarina of Time 3D.
No.
You
But
bought the Japanese version of Star Fox 64.
it is a Japanese version of a game that is out in America, a game that I owned the American version of previously, but a game that has exclusive Japanese content for its Japanese version.
You got me.
Guys are still stumped. It's Cave Story 3D.
Jesus.
It's on its way to me. It'll be here in about a week and a half, and I will be reviewing it and posting it on my Tumblr.
Randy was so hyped for like a big reveal.
I know. I
And
know.
then I should have known.
I told y'all. I told you. It was a
Expected
game I
anything
knew
else.
very well.
Well, good.
Holly had the same exact reaction as you, though, so don't worry.
It's like, you spent your money on what?
I spent my money on Cave Story 3D because you know what? That Japanese box art, that's worth preserving. Seriously.
Says the guy who will sell it on eBay in a week.
Can you
I
bring
will
it?
not.
I want you to bring that to a GameStop and try to like see what they'll give you for.
Oh.
Like, I found this
GameStop,
rare
like, what the
Japanese
fuck are you
game.
trying to do?
I found this rare Japanese game. It was in my mailbox. I don't know how it got there. I also have this Japanese 3DS
Sorry.
XL. How? Like, what would you buy? What would you take for this?
Oh, dude,
$2.
did Deco Brill
$2
say
for
I
credit.
got the Japanese version of Cave Story 3D before I said it?
I didn't get to see if he did or not, but I believe he probably would have said that.
I believe he probably would have said that too. And you know what? Oh, He's messaging me on Facebook right now like he called it. Well done, Deco Brill. Well done.
Oh, goodness.
See? People know me.
We don't.
I don't disappoint.
I know. How sad.
Y'all don't know me anymore. Last but not least, people and things I listen to. I've been listening to the Player One podcasts every single week for 52
10
weeks in a
years.
year, and they're on episode 400 this coming weekend. How many years has that been?
Well, I've listened to a weekly Dragon Ball podcast, and they've been going since November 2005, and they just had episode 363. Now, granted, sometimes they miss some weeks, so I'm going to guess
Right.
close to 10 years.
Oh man, it's been a while. These are 3/4 when the time came. Former game journalists who all got together and started the podcasts eons ago. And I remember when they were all young adults, like our age-ish, like maybe in their early 30s, and now they're married and they have a couple children and they're have these big families now, and it's just crazy to think of how far they've come. And I will be watching episode 400 live, much like y'all are watching episode 2 of this here show live.
Ooh.
And I hope that we get to episode 400 eventually of this here Backwards Compatible podcast, because God, will life be a wild ride, and this will be fun to look back on.
398 to go.
It's true.
Let's record one every day,
pressure, guys.
really quick.
Yeah, we could be caught up in about a year.
Nice.
All right, Chris, I think that leaves things up to you.
Alrighty. I guess I can start off by saying I did play more Mind Zero. I'm trying to really push. Haven't played anything else this entire week except for just snippets of Tamagotchi Life here and there. Only because I'm really trying to get that review out. I started working on. Oh, these damn dogs!
I think someone's
Right.
During the show, we're just gonna hear a gunshot, and Chris is gonna run into his house.
I do believe I did promise it's. I do believe at some point I did promise the ASPCA would be coming after this show, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
Just one more week till the gunshot.
So I've been chugging. Yeah, I swear to God, one more time.
This is hysterical.
They've been quiet this whole time. Only now.
This is better than
When you're about to talk.
when Bella grabs
know.
her squeaky toy and I'm like, stop.
It's doggy telekinesis. They have the real superpowers.
It was like hide and seek. You start to talk and they're like, there he is! Bark! River!
Dogs are jerks. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Chris,
Anyway,
get out as much as you possibly can.
I have been playing through Mind Zero. I got to a point in the story that I can't really talk about very well because it is very spoilery. But I did say, I think I did tell Randy, and I was a little shaken by what happened, and the events sort of keep snowballing from there, and now I'm at a place where I'm really shocked at how well the story is developed as far as the characters themselves. And I'm beginning to really enjoy the game more and more despite its flaws, which I will definitely talk about those later. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. I did that, and I also painstakingly updated my backloggery, which I'm not sure if any of you guys have a backloggery, but it's like a website where people who have just massive quantities of video games, like you could build yourself a house out of video games, just put the mortar in between the cases, where you can go to keep track of all of them and what you have, what you've sold off or traded or. So I've been doing that, and I found out that including downloadable software, virtual console games, stuff like that, I have over 100 games on my 3DS. I think I have like 111.
Oof.
It's it's crazy.
I've maybe
God, I
played
have
111 games on my 3DS, but I can't say I own that many. If you look through my activity log on that their system setting thing, like I'm sure there are 111 titles there, but whether or not they're still in my possession or now in someone else's hands via eBay, that's another story.
And that's the thing too, is these are all games I still own. These are not games I've traded or anything.
Yeah,
So,
Chris owns Star Fox 64 3D.
I do actually. But yeah, so the massive amount, like I said, the 20 ambassador games, of course, boosted that number, and I have all kinds of other virtual console titles. Like I have Kirby's Adventure, I have Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland, I have Kid Icarus, 3D Kid Icarus of Monsters and Myths and Monsters. I have all these, and you know what? I'll probably never play, or probably never beat half of them before the next Nintendo handheld comes along.
I have a question for you.
I've got plenty. Sure.
Does Backloggery consider the Nintendo Ambassador ticket as a game?
I don't. Backloggery, you enter everything by hand. They don't have lists of anything for you. So if you wanted to put it, you could. You just have to type it in.
One of my one of my good friends likes to play that every now and then because it says like that's a recent game he's been playing is the Ambassador ticket. Sometimes he's left it on for like 10 or 20 minutes just to build up his playtime on.
Oh my god!
Why?
Because it's a great joke.
Oh my god!
Because sometimes we used to be a little competitive in our stats charts of like, what have you been playing? What's
you know
like?
what? I'm gonna boot that up right now. We're gonna have
how many times did you play this? How many did it's just funny. Anyways.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. I see people all the time in system settings whenever I street pass people. Here, this is what I've been playing recently, system settings, and I'm like, that's not a game.
It should default to like the last actual game, not just like software. It's because like, what were you last playing? I was playing Miiverse. Like, well, okay.
Okay, street pass counts.
Oh my goodness, guys! This is monumental news live here on the Backwards Compatible podcast. I have a new #1 most played 3DS game. It is no longer Devil Survivor Overclocked with 239 hours. My #1 most played games is Pokemon Y with 262 hours and 54 minutes.
Called it.
Wow.
Following the original Devil Survivor is Devil Survivor 2, Fire Emblem Awakening, Street Pass Mii Plaza, Ocarina of Time 3D, and Bravely Default.
My top 5. Animal Crossing New Leaf in #1. Yeah, everyone get the 3DS.
All right, bye.
Do it.
Do it. My #2 is Pokemon Y. My #3 is Street Pass Mii Plaza. 4 is Devil Survivor Overclocked, and 5 is Bravely Default.
How many hours have you put into Pokemon Y, good sir?
123 and 53 minutes.
Holy crap, I'm twice that. That's...
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, most of the time I'll wear this badge with pride and everything, but wow.
Well, I haven't yet gone back to try and complete the Pokédex, but that is a goal in the near future.
Oh, you need to join the Cool Kids Club with me, Joe Walker, and others.
Well, I already have more than half the work
that way,
done.
guys. Y'all love the shiny
Pokemon,
don't you? All right.
Well, I already have more than
you guys
half the work done because I do have like first gens 1 through 4 complete. So I just need 5 and 6.
That's not awful. I'll maybe be able to give you a hand if you ever need anything. Any eggs? Any rarities there, sir?
That would
Uh,
be cheating.
so the top most played game in this 3DS is Dragon Quest IX, 75 hours.
Wow.
Thing is, about 20 of those were not played by me. So,
Well, who
s-
played them?
my ex-lover.
Oh,
Let's see here.
God.
Yeah. Now all of the other times are me. So like in second place is Street Pass Me Plaza with 70 hours.
Holy crap.
Third place Final Fantasy IV at 54 hours, 23 minutes. What I like about third place is the first played date was March 31st, 2011 because I got this at launch. So basically I think that was the first game I played. Fourth is Mario Kart 7 at 52, and fifth, The Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds at 33 hours, 58 minutes.
The Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. Dudes!
let's do it.
Dudes! Holly has... No, my keys are there. I have something to show you guys while Randy tells you his top 5.
Well, I'm gonna wait till Jonathan comes back because I want
Okay,
to hear my list.
give me 1 second in that case. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Like, seriously,
Okay,
it's right
while
over
we're
here.
waiting, the game that I have in last place is 108th. So the 108th title that I have done is Wario Land 4.
Alright, gents, I'm back. So, Cave Story 3D wasn't the only thing I imported from Japan. I also have more cool knickknacks. These go on my keys. These are... Let me do this damn thing a solid.
There we
A
go.
Link Between Worlds official Nintendo endorsed keychains
Oh my
that were
god.
made available. God, bear with me. There we go. He's facing the camera. He's Chibi Link. He's cute. God, you can see that glare. There we go. All right.
Oh my god, I need that.
It's God, I forget where I found them, but they give you a full set of 5 keychains for A Link Between Worlds, including the link you saw, this Master Sword that I've also got hanging off my keychain, a Zelda, a Paper Link, and a Dark and Light Triforce. And you get that a full set of 5 for $18 tax tag and title. So, like, I had to do it. I love A Link Between Worlds, and I needed new adornments for my keys, so now I have them. I will find out where that is, Chris, and I'll hook a brother up. Because I found it pretty easily. I want to say they were made available like that day, and I got them that day, and they showed up a week later. So yay! Since this is primarily a video podcast, I had to show off my toys since y'all were showing off your damn Doc Hack games.
Okay, so then my number 1 played game. Does anybody want to take a guess?
Kingdom Hearts 3D.
Nope.
What?
I know, right?
Resident Evil Revelitons.
Nope.
No,
What
It's
the
something-
hell?
it's something
Street
surprising.
Pass?
It is actually
System settings.
Tales of the Abyss.
Oh, balls. That was going to be my next choice.
With a total playtime of only 65 hours.
Nice.
That's not
my-
bad.
My second place is about half of that playtime, Kingdom Hearts 3D at 34 hours.
Yep.
Third place is the game that I got at launch, which is Super Street Fighter 4 at 31 hours.
Wow.
Fourth place is Pokemon Soul Silver with 21 hours. And fifth place is The World Ends With You, 18 hours, 55 minutes. So, that's the funny thing. 2 of the games are ports, and 2 of the games are DS games. So, only one of them
Well,
is an
Randy.
original 3DS.
You will be hearing more from me on this later.
Yeah, well, my least played thing is my 80th thing, Paper Mario Sticker Star trailer, 2 minutes.
Dude, I need to see what my least played thing is now. Y'all are going to bug me. My least played thing is WarioWare Inc., the ambassador title, for 1 minute.
Wow.
Oh my god. John, my least played game is WarioWare Snapped for 1 minute.
Wow! We're
No,
close.
I at least played games
I
Wario
have
Land 4.
204 games registered in my activity log, by the way.
Wow.
You have how many?
Well, it's software.
204 pieces of software, which
Well,
do
it
include the
counts-
trailers and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a tie. I got 131 registered, and I haven't even played everything on my 3DS. So
Wow.
I have gotten rid of things.
You know what's super
Anyways.
sad is I need to basically replace the battery on my 3DS because it sat on its charger for like 5 months. So now the battery life on standby lasts for like a day, whereas before it would last like 3. Like, just closed in sleep mode. Now, like a day later, it's like, nope, flashing red, super dead.
So, Randy, how long did you say that you played Kingdom Hearts 3D for?
For about
34
35
hours?
34, 35,
This
yeah.
is your random piece of trivia, considering my import purchase. I have played Cave Story, which was released on the eShop as Cave Story Plus, for 45 hours and 28 minutes in total. And let's see if I can find it buried in the deep here. I played Cave Story 3D when I bought it way back. First played on November 8th, 2011 for 18 hours and 36 minutes. So you know what? I got my damn money's worth.
For sure.
Over and over and over again.
Over and over and over again. Damn it. And you know what? There's gonna
Congratulations.
be more over and over again. I interviewed Pixel. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah, we know.
There's a reason for that, ladies and gentlemen.
Patsy's changed Jonathan.
Forever. Forever. E3 2014 changed my ass forever. Oh, God. Are we about to end
Yeah,
this
no
show?
kidding.
Well, Chris needs to finish out
I
his
just
list.
have one more thing.
Uh-huh.
Yes. The last thing on this gloriously short list is I did watch the first 5. You're drooling into the camera there, Randy. Hold
shut
on.
up.
The first 5 episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender on Amazon Prime Video.
So happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Look at him go, ladies and gentlemen.
So did
But
you
yeah,
like
so
it?
I did watch that. I did like it. I can't say that I love it just yet, but I did like it. Of course, I'm jumping on it because I need to get caught up in time for Platinum Games, Lenacora Games, so I'm trying to make a concerted effort to get that out of the way. And yeah, there's some things that I really like about it, and there's some things that I don't like right now, which I'm sure will change, which I got some faith in it. Like, that Sokka guy is like this huge misogynistic jerk wet blanket guy. And I'm like, wow,
This
dude.
is the first time I've heard someone described as a wet blanket in like 10 years. Well done,
He is.
Chris Garcia.
He's like the downer, man. Everyone's trying to have a good time, and here comes Sokka, gotta ruin it for everybody.
I didn't sign on for the flying and the magic. It's just does not want a part of it.
Exactly. And I'm just like, dude, man, like, because I have seen the terrible movie that everyone hates,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't remember him being that annoying and downer and just completely pessimistic in the movie. So I was like watching it, and I'm like, wow, this guy is just a party pooper, man. He's the party pooper water tribe master.
Don't worry. It will
Okay.
get better. I
will cut you guys off, but it is to relay a link to Chris and to everyone wondering about those keychains. Go to shopncsx.com. It's National Consul Support or something to that effect. I believe that is what it stands for. But it's one more time, shopncs as in Steve and X as in xylophone.com. Continue.
I was going to say, give it
Yeah,
time,
that was pretty much it.
because Sokka does get great, and like Asterak says here in the comments, Season 2 is when The Last Airbender really takes off. Season 1 is good, Season 2 blows it out of the water.
Okay.
If you had to pick
Cool.
a bending style, what would it be, Chris? What element?
That'd be a little difficult because I still haven't seen all of them yet. I think.
So
No,
just
I
say
did
dark
see.
matter. I haven't seen this show. It might happen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I didn't see rock a whole lot. The only earth bending that I saw was Aang's really, really old friend.
Boomy.
Yes.
Good times.
So I did see that. I guess if I had to choose, I guess I'd say water.
Yeah.
Only because I haven't really seen a whole lot yet, but I think there's a lot of potential there. And I like water stuff.
I have to say, on par with how good like actual character development happens in that show, the development of people's skills with bending is really good. Like if you like watch it through, there's a really good like natural evolution of people's skills with their elements and what they can do with it and stuff. So it gets really cool, and there's a whole bunch of really cool facets that come up later with each individual element. So stick with it because it's really, really good, and I won't take up any more time for it. But I'm glad that you started watching it, dude.
I'll jump on that bandwagon at some point because I, like Chris, am very interested in Platinum Games' newest project.
Yeah, for sure. So
And just look at how happy it's making Randy. It'll be like when I finally tell Charlotte that I played Monster Hunter or Xenogears. Like, there'll just be smiles all around.
So was this a show, guys?
Oh, this was one hell of a show.
Good.
We need to talk about Shovel Knight more, you guys.
We can talk about Shovel Knight more, and then soon we can also talk about Azure Striker Gunvolt, because that's supposed to come out here in the season, so...
Hey, when the hell is that coming out in Japan? Because I will spend some of my digital Japanese dollars on that one right there.
Sooner than the American version, which comes out this summer, so... Soon. I would say just hold off and get the English version, because it'll be like weeks apart, probably.
Who knows? If they're months apart, I'll pick up the Japanese version early and let you guys know. Because, like, the games like Cave Story and Azure Striker Gunvolt seem very intuitive, and, like, I don't necessarily need a mastery of the language to understand shooty shooty kill kill or slice slice kill kill.
Mm-hmm.
So, those are the kind of games that I would be gung-ho to import on day one. So there.
I do have, in addition to the outro that we're probably going to do, I did kind of have a personal question that I wanted to ask the audience if they are interested in helping me out. I posed this question to you guys earlier, but if anybody out there has any additional feedback, I do want to purchase a game, and I've been thinking about Shovel Knight, and there's some sort of pros and cons with that, and also Pushmo World for the Wii U. So you guys watching weigh in, decide the fate of Wildcard Corsair.
Flip the coin. At Wildcard Corsair on Twitter.
Yeah, or I don't know, on any one of our various fan pages, the Google Plus, the Tumblr,
it's
the
true.
Facebook.
We're everywhere.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
And I guess on that note, we should get into the outro proper, eh, Randy?
Exactly. Well, you can give us all of your awesome feedback. You can email it to us at feedback.bcpodcast@gmail.com. And as we just said just moments ago, you can follow us on Twitter at BC_podcast, as well as check us out on Facebook, Google+, Tumblr, We's everywhere. And then, of course, YouTube, which is probably where you are right now.
Hey!
Yeah, so leave comments, Q&A, all that other fun stuff. You can also follow us individually on Twitter. I'm at Saber_Breaker.
I'm at Radical Defect.
I'm at Cyhowski J, spelled CYHOWSKIJ.
And I'm at Wildcard Corsair.
Yeah!
This has certainly been a show.
For sure. And then, of course, we have a audience question of the week for you guys. What is your most fondest video game memory?
So I have a week to think about my own. Damn, this is going to be tough.
Right, exactly.
Guys, I promise you right now, it will have nothing to do with Cave Story.
Wow, that's a tall order.
It's a miracle.
Order. Order as tall as I am. I'm like 5'11", by the way.
basically soft and fuzzy memories of video games. Like, what's your favorite? So,
Woo!
we'll talk about that next week. Give us a shout out on Facebook, Tumblr, Google Twitter. Answer the question, and we will read it at the beginning of the next episode. So, thank you so much for joining us, and we will be back next week. Probably Wednesday, maybe?
I'm hoping that we can manage to sit down every single Wednesday at 10 p.m. from here on out so we can establish a sort of constant place and time to see us. For all those wondering, I'm off next Wednesday, so I'm confirmed, and I think Randy and Chris are confirmed as well. It's Jared who we're waiting on, but with the working schedule of 4 people, 2 of whom are in retail/grocery settings, like, things are a bit difficult to nail down, but we will absolutely try our best to keep this Wednesday at 10 thing going.
Faux show. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we will check you out next time.
Peace out! I guess this
Bye.
is when I hit the magic
Bye.
button. You guys,
Gonna go
take
kill some
care.
dogs.
We'll see you again. Wait, dudes!
What?
Randy,
What?
Jared, Chris,
Mm.
thank you for sitting down with me tonight. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Backwards compatible listeners, viewers, etc. Thanks so much for spending time with us. I guess since I'm the one who gets to hit the magic button, I get to say goodbye. We'll see you all on the other side. Ciao.
Yes, sir.